Alrighty, Memphis Grizzlies offseason review. So the Memphis Grizzlies drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. with the 4th overall pick. They drafted Javon Carter with the 32nd overall pick. In free agency, they signed Kyle Anderson to 4 years and $37 million, as well as Shelvin Mack and Omri Caspi to minimum level deals. Through a couple of trades, they received Garrett Temple and Dakari Johnson, and they traded away Deontay Davis, Ben McLemore, and Jarrell Martin. Overall, I'm giving the Memphis Grizzlies an offseason grade of a C+. I made a video right after last season ended talking about why the Grizzlies refuse to trade Conley or Gasol and why they won't tank. The conclusion I draw in that video is that Memphis has massive financial incentives to keep their star players, so they keep selling tickets and whatnot. It's quite clear that Memphis is trying very, very hard to compete this next season. It wouldn't be accurate to say that they're all in, but they've bet like 70% of the chips they have, if you know what I mean. The Garrett Temple-McLemore trade is clearly a move you make if you want to make your team better this next season with less regard for your team's future. And so is getting rid of Jarrell Martin and Deontay Davis. I'm okay with the Kyle Anderson contract. 4 years, $37 million is not by any means a great contract for someone like him. The biggest knock against Memphis this offseason, to me, was that Tyreke Evans left. Now, this is a knock for two reasons. Number one, because they failed to trade Tyreke Evans before the trade deadline last season, so they just let him go this year for nothing. And second of all, they're trying to compete this next season, and Tyreke, at this point, is much better than Kyle Anderson. If they kept Tyreke, I would have graded their offseason as somewhere around a B, but they couldn't keep Tyreke. Here's the Memphis Grizzlies' projected roster. Now, this team has a big kryptonite, and their kryptonite is injury. Or injuries. We all know what the deal has been with the Memphis Grizzlies these past 3 or 4 years. Whenever Gasol and Conley are playing on the court together, the Memphis Grizzlies are a very tough and competitive team. The problem is that they've both had a lot of big injuries and neither of them are getting any younger. If they don't miss more than 10 to 15 games, the Grizzlies have a good shot at making the playoffs. The one thing I'm going to look out for with regards to the Memphis Grizzlies is how well Jaren Jackson Jr. will fit into this team. First off, there's a question of whether or not he's even going to start. Now, I think that if Jermichael Green is 100% healthy, he should be starting if winning is the number one priority. Second of all, even if Jaren Jackson Jr. starts, how does he fit alongside Conley and Gasol? If the Grizzlies are serious about winning games, he'll be spending more time out at the three-point line catch and shooting than handling the ball because he's a rookie playing alongside star veterans. Jackson's also still young, so it's not like 1 or 2 seasons it's going to completely derail his development. But you do have to wonder if by the trade deadline the Grizzlies are like 28 and 30 or 5 games behind the 8th seed or something like that. It might be worth it to give Jaren Jackson Jr. more minutes, even if there are better players. If you take the Grizzlies' young core, which is, as of right now, Jaren Jackson Jr., Dillon Brooks, Kyle Anderson maybe, and tentatively Wayne Selden Jr., and maybe Javon Carter, Jackson is the only one with real all-star potential, in my opinion. Anderson is never going to be more than an average starter. I can imagine Dillon Brooks winning 6th Man of the Year, but I can't really imagine him as an all-star. Wayne Selden needs to get on the court more, and Javon Carter I actually like a lot, given where he was selected in the draft, but the guy is so raw and unpolished offensively that he'll need a Jimmy Butler level of improvement to become an all-star. So again, we're back at the same damn dilemma that I proposed in the beginning of this video and in the last video where I talked about Memphis, which is this: what do they actually want to do? Is it worth trying so hard to win this year given what the Western Conference looks like and given the fact that anyone with a sense knows that you have 0 chance at even making the NBA Finals, much less winning the championship? Vegas has Memphis at 33.5 wins. Now here's the deal: if either Gasol or Conley break something and just sit on the bench in a suit for more than 2 months, this line is an easy under. Memphis this next season is one of those teams where you could totally see them doing really well, winning like 46 or 47 games. That's possible, but I can also totally see the Memphis Grizzlies winning less than 30 games. This is one of those situations where I'd feel pretty terrible betting the under because I would essentially be betting on a Gasol or Conley injury. But because I'm a heartless bastard, I'm gonna be realistic with myself and I'm gonna go under on the Memphis Grizzlies. Alright, that's it for this video. Memphis fans, you guys might just have to wait till you get rid of Chandler Parsons' contract and possibly even Conley's or Gasol's contract until you can finally tear everything down, get a fresh start, and possibly move to a better era. That is, of course, if the primary goal of the franchise is to win a championship, which, again, like I've talked about many times, which I don't think people talk about enough, these teams, not all of them have championship winning as their number one priority, or at least there are many competing priorities. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.